Hey everyone, this is David Betancourt, one half of Blerds in the Attic. Very excited to finally get to an unboxing of the Miles Morales Boricua Suit Spider-Man action figure. This is a look for Miles Morales that I co-created with artist Alita Martinez for the Marvel Voices Comunidades anthology. This is an anthology that came out a few years ago that was Latino-based, Latino writers, Latino artists telling Latino stories with Latino characters. And Marvel reached out to me, asked if I'd like to contribute. I said I'd love to, as long as it's Miles Morales. And luckily, they let me do it. Um, Miles first appeared in the Boricua suit in Comunidades. That's the first time it's appeared in a comic book. You can see it here on the last page of my story. He's at a Puerto Rican parade in Brooklyn, and he's got the Boricua suit, and he says, "Yo soy Boricua, pa que tú lo sepas." This was a really fun story to write. I wanted to take advantage of the fact, obviously, that I identify very clearly with Miles. I myself, like Miles, am half Puerto Rican, half African American. I love comic books and superheroes. So obviously, when Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli created Miles Morales uh, back in 2009, it meant a lot to me. And he's a character I've written about frequently over the years. When Marvel asked to write a story featuring him, I wanted to take advantage and tell the type of story that was from the perspective of someone who actually is Puerto Rican and African American. It's a story about identity. It's a story about Miles wanting to let the public know that he is Puerto Rican. It had already been revealed that he had black skin, so everyone knew that he was black, but people didn't know what Latino group he was with. That's a big deal in Latin communities. You know, we're always waving our flags. We love representing who we are. So Miles reached out to the Black Panther, who happened to be in town in Brooklyn. That was obviously a convenience of me just throwing the Black Panther in there. And Miles talks to the Black Panther about wearing your identity on your superhero suit, because when the Black Panther is all suited up in his Black Panther suit, even though you can't see him, he's covered from head to toe. You know that he's Wakandan. What Miles was looking for to do something similar with his Spider-Man suit, so he reached out to the Black Panther about it. The Black Panther asked Shuri to make Miles a suit that could help him show the world when he's Spider-Man what he is, and that's where the Boricua suit comes from. So I'm very excited to unbox this. I'm a huge action figure guy. Whenever there are action figures that I really, really like, I always get two so I can leave one in the box and preserve the mint condition value, although I'm not a seller of these, so I don't know why I do that. You can see behind me, I have another Miles Morales figure right there on the wall. So that one will stay boxed up. That's up there on my wall of influence. And this is the one I'm going to unbox right here. I've had this thing for a while, so I'm very excited that finally going to get to take it out and take a look. Now, this was pulled from me and Alita's designs, but what happened is the first time this suit appeared in another form of media was for the Miles Morales video game. It became an option of a suit that you could change into, and you can actually see on the side here, that's an image from the Miles Morales video game. And it says here on the, Gamerverse. So these are figures meant to be inspired from the Spider-Man video games. That's when it says Gamerverse, that's what it means. But obviously, they got the look from the comic book look that Aletha and I created. So let's take it out. It's so cool. I mean, it's when I look at this, obviously, I still have to take it out of the plastic. So cool. So there it is for everyone to see up close. There he is, Boricua Suit Miles Morales. This is so cool, and very cool. I get to share this with you guys. Oh, look at the back. They did a really good job with the back of the suit. So in my initial design of this, Aletha did such a great job, because when I was writing the script, I basically said, let's put a Puerto Rican flag on the chest. I initially wanted the mask right here. So I initially wanted Miles's head and the mask to be blue, just like this part of the Puerto Rican flag. There's actually a joke in the comic where somebody says, "Look, it's Cosmic Spider-Man," because back when Peter Parker Spider-Man had cosmic powers, he had a blue mask. But that joke kind of went nowhere because they ended up not making the head blue. I was not at a point. This is my very first story that I ever wrote for Marvel, so I was not going to be like, oh, and the mask absolutely has to be blue to match with the blue of the flag. I was just happy to be writing the story at that point. So in my notes in the script, I said, that Shuri designed a suit for him where the Puerto Rican flag is very prevalent on the chest, and that's exactly what Aletha did. Aletha did such an incredible job illustrating this story. I just can't say enough the fantastic job she did with her art. But there he is, Boricua Suit. Look at that. That's seeing one of your ideas get turned into an action figure. It's a lot of fun. I've actually seen this figure in my local Target and some other areas online, but I've already got two, so trying not to go overboard on the superhero action figure budget. But this is let's see, I'll stand them up here. You can't see that in the camera, but this is so cool. I'm so happy to finally be opening this. Obviously, the unboxed one will stay up there on the wall, but now I've got one for everybody to see. You can be mobile with it, take it around. There he is, Boricua Suit Miles Morales. It means a lot. If I, have written for Marvel frequently, so the Comunidades wasn't the first Miles Morales story I wrote. I have written another one, which was here in the Spider-Man Stories from the Spider-Verse. Now, this is a Miles story that means a lot to me that I wrote. This was written for young adults. It's a story where Miles and his mom take a trip to Puerto Rico, and they have a battle against the Sandman and against the gentrification that is kind of overtaking the island of Puerto Rico. So that story meant a lot to me. I wanted Miles to wear the Boricua suit in this story. For whatever reason, Marvel would not let us do that. They didn't really give an explanation as to why, and I didn't really ask. I just said, fine, whatever. But he did appear in the Comunidades in this. So he has appeared in comic book form and video game form, and now action figure form. So just a quick little unboxing. Wanted to share this with you guys. It's kind of surreal to see your ideas come to life like this, where you can actually touch them. Um, and I'm very proud. If I plan on writing more comics in the future, I don't know if they'll be for Marvel. Looking to go a little bit more independent route. But I've told almost all the Miles stories that I wanted to tell, and it means a lot that I've left a mark on a character that means a lot to me. Thanks for watching. Nos vemos.